You've tried everything right? Blackout curtains, white noise machines, melatonin, sleep masks. But no matter what you do, sleeping during the day after a night shift feels impossible. You're exhausted, but you can't stay asleep. You finally drift off, then wake up 3 hours later feeling worse than before. What if I told you the problem isn't you? It's that you're trying to sleep like a day worker when your body is running on a completely different schedule. Here's something that's going to blow your mind. Trying to get all your sleep in one big chunk after a night shift might actually be working against your biology. There's a sleep strategy that thousands of night shift workers are using right now that works with your body instead of fighting it. It's called the two-part sleep method, and it might be the game changer you've been looking for. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly how this method works, the science behind why it's effective, real stories from people who've transformed their sleep quality, and how to implement it starting tonight. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll understand why splitting your sleep might actually give you more rest than trying to force 8 hours straight. The two-part sleep method is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of trying to sleep for 7 to 8 hours in one continuous block after your shift, you split your sleep into 2 separate sessions. Here's the basic framework. When you get home from your night shift, you sleep for about 4 hours. This is your core sleep or anchor sleep. Then you wake up and go about your day. Handle errands, spend time with family, do whatever needs doing. Then 2 to 3 hours before your next shift starts, you take a second sleep session of 3 to 4 hours. This is your preparation sleep. So instead of one 8-hour sleep block, you're getting 4 hours plus 3 hours equals 7 hours total, but spread across 2 sessions with active time in between. Now I know what you're thinking. That sounds crazy, right? Isn't it better to get all your sleep at once? Under normal circumstances for day workers? Absolutely. But you're not a day worker, and this is where understanding the science becomes crucial. The science behind split sleep. Here's what most people don't know. Sleeping in one long 8-hour block is actually a relatively modern phenomenon. Historical research by Dr. Roger E. Kirsch at Virginia Tech uncovered that before the Industrial Revolution, people regularly practiced biphasic sleep or segmented sleep. They'd sleep for 4 hours, wake up for 1 to 2 hours in the middle of the night, then sleep another 4 hours. This wasn't considered abnormal, it was just how humans slept. There are references to first sleep and second sleep in diaries and literature from the 15th to 19th centuries. The point is, your body is already designed to handle split sleep periods. It's not some weird hack. It's actually closer to our natural sleep patterns than the industrial 8-hour block we've been conditioned to believe is normal. Why this works for night shift workers? For night shift workers specifically, the two-part method addresses several critical problems. First, it works with sleep pressure, not against it. When you get home from a night shift, you're absolutely exhausted. Your sleep pressure is at maximum. That first 4-hour block lets you capitalize on that intense sleepiness when it's easiest to fall asleep even during daylight hours. Second, it acknowledges that daytime sleep quality is naturally worse. No matter how dark you make your room, your body knows it's daytime. Trying to force 8 hours of sleep during the day is fighting an uphill battle. But 4 hours? That's much more achievable. Third, it gives you a life. One of the worst parts of night shift work is feeling completely disconnected from normal life. The two-part method gives you several hours of awake time during the day to be a human being. Fourth, the pre-shift sleep session means you're going into work actually refreshed. Instead of waking up 30 minutes before work feeling groggy and disoriented, you've had a full 3-hour sleep cycle that ends closer to when you need to be alert. The sleep cycle advantage. Each sleep cycle lasts about 90 minutes and includes light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. When you sleep for 4 hours, you're getting roughly 2 to 3 complete sleep cycles. When you sleep for 3 hours, that's another 2 complete cycles. You're waking up closer to the end of a natural cycle rather than being jolted awake from deep sleep. This is why many people report feeling less groggy with split sleep. Compare this to trying to sleep 8 hours during the day. Your sleep cycles are fragmented by noise, light, temperature changes, and your body's circadian resistance. You might be in bed for 8 hours, but only get the equivalent of 5 to 6 hours of actual quality sleep. With the two-part method, you're maximizing sleep efficiency by sleeping when your body is most cooperative. So you're convinced this might work for you, Maruti. Now let's talk about how to actually do this effectively. Setting up your first sleep session, the 4-hour block. The moment you get home from your night shift, you need to treat this like a sacred ritual. This isn't negotiable time. This is your core survival sleep. Create the best possible sleep environment. Yes, blackout curtains are essential. I'm talking pitch black. If you can see your hand in front of your face, it's not dark enough. Cover any LED lights from electronics with electrical tape. Even tiny amounts of light can suppress melatonin production and reduce sleep quality. Temperature matters more than you think. Keep your room between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Your body needs to cool down to fall asleep properly. Use a fan or cooling mattress pad if needed. Noise control is critical. Use a combination of earplugs and white noise or brown noise. Brown noise is actually better for masking inconsistent sounds like traffic and voices. Here's a game changer. Take a warm shower or bath right before bed. When you get out of warm water, your core body temperature drops rapidly, triggering the biological sleep response. It tricks your body into thinking it's bedtime. Absolutely no phone scrolling. The moment you get home, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Better yet, leave it in another room. Set your alarm for exactly 4 hours. No snoozing. This is critical because your second sleep session depends on timing. The transition period, awake time. When you wake up after 4 hours, you have roughly 6 to 8 hours of awake time before your next sleep session. Get sunlight exposure within 30 minutes of waking up. Go outside even if it's just for 15 minutes. This helps reset your circadian rhythm and tells your body it's daytime. Eat your main meal during this period. Think protein, healthy fats, vegetables. This is your dinner even though it might be 3 p.m. This is your time for life administration, appointments, errands, seeing family and friends, hobbies, whatever normal humans do during the day. The psychological benefit of feeling connected to regular life cannot be overstated. Exercise during this window if you're going to exercise. About 3 to 4 hours after waking from your first sleep is ideal. Setting up your second sleep session, the 3-hour block. About 2.5 to 3 hours before your shift starts, it's time for your second sleep session. This is your preparation sleep, getting you primed and ready for the work ahead. The same environmental rules apply. Dark, cool, quiet. But here's the difference. This sleep session should end closer to when you need to be alert. Time your alarm so you wake up 60 to 90 minutes before work, not 30 minutes before. This gives you time to properly wake up, shower, eat something light, and mentally transition into work mode. You're going to feel dramatically more alert going into your shift than if you tried to sleep 8 hours during the day and woke up 20 minutes before work feeling like you got hit by a truck. A pre-sleep routine for this session helps tremendously. Maybe it's reading for 15 minutes, gentle stretching, or listening to calming music. The weekly rhythm. Here's something crucial. Consistency is everything. You need to maintain this schedule as closely as possible even on days off. I know that's tough. You want to flip back to normal sleeping at night on your off days, but constantly switching back and forth is even harder on your body than just maintaining the two-part schedule. Let me share some real experiences from night shift workers who've implemented this method. Maria's story, the ER nurse. Maria is an ER nurse who worked 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. shifts for 6 years. She tried the traditional approach, sleeping from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and was miserable. She'd wake up multiple times, never felt rested, and was constantly exhausted at work. When she switched to the two-part method, everything changed. She now sleeps from 8 a.m. to noon, 4 hours, spends the afternoon with her kids when they get home from school, then sleeps again from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., 3 hours, and heads to work. In her words, "I feel like I got my life back. I'm not just surviving anymore, I'm actually living. My kids don't think of me as the parent who's always sleeping. And weirdly, I feel more rested now with 7 hours split up than I ever did trying to force 8 hours straight." Her sleep tracking app confirms it. Her deep sleep percentages increased by 18% after switching to this method. James's experience, the security supervisor. James works 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. at a corporate campus. He was severely overweight, pre-diabetic, and dealing with depression when he decided to try the two-part method. He sleeps from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., 4 hours, then uses his afternoon for meal prep, exercise, and therapy appointments. He sleeps again from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., 3 hours, before work. 6 months in, he's lost 35 pounds, his blood sugar is normal, and he's off antidepressants. He credits the method not just for better sleep, but for giving him the time and energy to actually take care of himself. When I was sleeping all day in one block, I had no time or energy for anything else. Now I can actually go to the gym, cook real food, and work on my mental health. The common thread, what I keep hearing from people who make this switch, is the same thing. They feel more human. The split sleep gives them a window of normal life that makes the sacrifice of working nights feel less severe. One warehouse worker told me, "I don't dread my schedule anymore. I get to have breakfast with my wife, take my dog to the park, and feel like I'm part of the world." What the data shows, a 2016 study published in the journal Sleep found that split sleep patterns can provide equivalent restorative benefits to consolidated sleep when total sleep time is maintained. Another study from 2020 examining shift workers who naturally adopted split sleep patterns found they reported 31% better sleep quality and 24% less daytime sleepiness compared to those attempting consolidated daytime sleep. The key finding, it's not just about total hours, it's about sleep efficiency and working with your biology rather than against it. Let's get practical about the challenges because I know what you're thinking. This sounds great in theory, but my life is complicated. Family and social life. This is the big one. How do you sleep twice a day when you have kids or a spouse or roommates? First, communicate clearly with your household. Explain that these 2 sleep periods are as essential as taking medication, literally non-negotiable for your health. For parents, the afternoon awake period is actually perfect for quality time with kids. Many night shift workers using this method report better relationships with their children because they're awake and present for after-school hours. One father told me, "My kids used to beg me to play with them while I was trying to sleep during the day. Now I'm actually awake when they get home from school. We do homework together. I make them dinner, and then I sleep for a few hours before work." Varying shift schedules. If your shifts rotate or vary in start times, you can still adapt this method. It just requires planning. The key is maintaining your first sleep session timing as consistently as possible. Always take your first sleep as soon as you get home for 4 hours. Then adjust your second sleep session timing based on when you need to be at work. The first sleep session is your anchor. Keep it consistent. The second session can be more flexible. Practical tips for success. Keep a sleep diary for the first month. Track when you sleep, how you feel, energy levels at work. Invest in quality sleep tools. This isn't the time to cheap out on blackout curtains or earplugs. Prep your environment before your shift starts. Have everything ready before you leave for work. Room dark, temperature set, water by the bed, alarm set. Use caffeine strategically. Have your last coffee at least 6 hours before your first sleep session. Meal timing matters. Eat your largest meal during your afternoon awake period. Keep food before your second sleep light. Is this method right for you? The 2-part method works best for people who work permanent night shifts, have struggled with traditional single-block daytime sleep, want to maintain some connection to normal daytime life, and can create a good sleep environment. It might not work as well if your shift times vary wildly from week to week, or you have very young children who need care at unpredictable times. The bottom line. Working night shift will always be challenging for your body. There's no way around that. But the 2-part sleep method is about harm reduction and quality of life improvement. You're not trying to become a day person who works nights. You're accepting that you're a night worker and optimizing your sleep strategy around that reality. The greatest benefit isn't just better sleep. It's reclaiming parts of your life that night shift work took away. It's being present for your family. It's having time for self-care. It's feeling like a human being instead of a zombie shuffling between work and bed. If you're ready to transform your night shift experience, here's what you need to do right now. First, head over to nightshiftershub.com for detailed implementation guides and sleep tracking templates. Second, join our Telegram community, Night Shifters Hub, where thousands of night shift workers share tips and support each other. And hit that subscribe button because we're building the ultimate resource hub for people who work while the world sleeps. Try the two-part method for 30 days and see the difference. Let's do this together.